You see, the problem, cutting corners, is a very dangerous thing because you need to blood. You need to get the frustration, the anxiety, the fears of going through the process step by step. You become a victim of the Murphy game, which is a con, which is a swindle, which is a bait and switch routine. Sell the sizzle. When you haven't been processed and blooded and gone through the intricacies, the convolutions, the contradictions, the agony, the frustrations, the delays, the conditioning of frustration tolerance, and the ability step by step to be the captain, to earn the right to be the captain of your own ship. And by this I mean the master of your state. And by this I mean the executive of your emotions. The emotions dispose, but the will proposes, and the proposal part has to be more powerful than the disposal. Or very simply, Dr. Freud told us, where it is, there must be ego in charge. For your safety, for your security, for your protection. But you need to earn the template that is well field tested. It's a directive. It's a general magnetic pulling toward entering the arena, the contest of encounter, confrontation. And if you're a short man, 5'3", you have to begin with, I could never have this. So we're talking about the women here, of course. Tall, beautiful women, athletic, etc. Sexually exciting, etc. I could never have this. And usually they're all spoken for. And if they're not, you're in a terrible competition to fight for attention, one, acceptance, credibility. Because as a short man with a ridiculous appearance and a moon face and gross large features, like me, the credibility you're going to get, the acceptance you're going to get initially, visually, is superficial, is really a phony, a show acceptance, a personality acceptance. And sometimes if you're desperate, despondent, horny, you must beg, borrow, steal whatever imagery, whatever words you can take later, memorize and take later, and create a soap opera over in which you are the star. Of course, it's all fantasy, imagination, projective power, hero worshipping, worshipping from afar, the worst form of vicarious pretense experience possible. But you have to learn to give to yourself what, because of design, constitutional factors, conditioning, temperament, your reality, your social reality won't propose for you. then you have to learn to use the Brian T. comeback method. This means you keep a diary. Today I got one smile from one woman. It happened at 2 p.m. in the afternoon in this location. It lasted for about 10 seconds. And log it in. Tomorrow maybe a true smile. And then after a long period of time, maybe guarded conditioning, short rigid leash, temporary acceptance. And he builds it up from there. It's like he's a fungus, a foreign body. And he's attempting to grow on the woman bit by bit. He does this by having character, maturity, patient, mature, empathic, listening abilities, and understanding. My buddy and I, Jay Siegel, from the Bronx, 1965, were so desperate. And we used to go down to Honeymoon Lane's Tango Palace. To the dances you paid at that time $1 admission in 1965, and it was 65 cents a dance, plus a $10 tip if you want to get a little bit sexual on the dance floor. It was ballroom dancing. And men paid, lonely men, desperate men, men who could not physically, visually attract a woman, could not survive in the presence. You paid your ticket to either dance or talk for 3 minutes per ticket. Then they sold the rubbers, condoms, and you get a little sexy on the dance floor, and you do a little bit of clinch dancing, a little bit dirty boogie, guarded, and that's for a tip, $10 tip, or you can talk. Becoming so frustrated, and they had in those days very good live sex shows in Manhattan in 1976, where the woman came out and stripped, and then the stud came 15 minutes later. And they had action, good action on the stage, depending on the couple. So we get so frustrated, we became the victim of the Murphy game. We goes down to Tijuana. And we got down there in 1965, we saw all kind of girls, or at least we imagined we saw it, because we've been seeing Oasis, mirages in deserts for so long. And two native Greenwich Village individuals, they come up to us and they says, "What are two handsome gentlemen such as yourselves doing without dates? Look around you, look at all the women's down here. What are you two boys doing without dates? Let us hang out with you. You see all the women here? I owns them all. It's like a pimp. I fix you up." And of course, those are the magic words. Because you see, the problem is, you're not going to come into the Greenwich Village as a native, and if you're not attractive visually by appearance and personality, but mostly it's the appearance. You got the height, you got the physique, you got the personality, you got the competitive edge. You're going to be locked out because everybody's clicked out. You're going to be locked out. So you're looking for shortcuts. And they say, we fix you up. We know where the women are. We'll fix you up. For $25 a piece at that time, 1965. And of course, they saw we were desperate. What's it going to be like? What's it going to be like? Be like the 4th of July, Christmas, New Year's, all rolled up together into one. Now you tell us what kind of women's you want, and we fix you up. For $25 a piece. So, of course, the Murphy man's tongue is golden. He weaves a beautiful story. Wouldn't you believe it? It's happening. It's going to happen. And of course, you're excited with anticipation. So we give him our money. And he says, don't hand it to me. Put it in my pocket. He makes a telephone call. We listen, and you boys can listen. I'm making the call right now to fix you up. And you boys listen. And we hear him talking to somebody. He wasn't talking to anybody. It was a dead line. And says, here, I got 2 white boy looking for action. Now I want you to fix them up with your best. Treat them right. Then he came out of the booth. He said, boys, it's all set up. Go to this address. When you get there, tell them a woman will answer. All you have to do, boys, is just say, Joe the Gimp sent me. We were all excited. Of course, the Murphy men disappeared. When they had our money, they disappeared into the night. We went to the address. It was a beautiful, beautiful, what do you call that, a residential area, dwelling. Beautiful, like a brownstone. And we said, a woman answered, we said, Joe the Gimp sent us, we're here for action. And you can imagine what happened next. All hell broke loose. We ran like hell. We ran like hell because she's going to call the police. Then we returned back looking for those 2 guys who took us for our money. We met 2 other fellas, and they said, for 15 apiece, I'll tell you where the women are. Where are the women? They're up on the roof. On the roof! We gave them our money, went up to the roof, no women. Came back down again. Met 2 other Murphy men, 3 other Murphy men, as a matter of fact. Said, I know those other guys. They're liars, they're cheats, they're swindlers. I know where the women are. I know where the action is. And for just 10 apiece, I'm going to introduce you to a couple nice-looking women. They're going to treat you right. We went into this nightclub. They had the women. We met the women. We talked to them. And they said, now, boys, just relax. We're going to the bathroom to get ready for you. Put on makeup. You know, all the bullshit women do in the bathroom to get ready. The makeup, all the other crap they do. So we sat outside. Now the 2 Murphy men said, now we have to get going. You boys just wait right here. The women's will be right out. So we sat there and we waited an hour and a half. Nobody comes out. We run outside. We meet 2 other guys and they say, for another 10 apiece, I'll tell you boys what happened, and then I'll send you to a hotel where you're gonna get action. The women snuck out. In the bathroom, there is a way to sneak out. There's an exit. Do you believe that? We gave those guys our money, and we went to the hotel they sent us to. Gay hotel! Homosexual hotel. We're looking for women. Then we went out of frustration. We lost so much money. To the police department, spoke to the detectives, and they said to us, been all around the world, one of the detectives said, and I've seen some stupid behavior, some gullible, dumb guys, dumb behavior to try to cut corners, to get action. But you guys are the stupidest I've ever seen. The most, and he said, now I want you to get the fuck out of here because I can arrest you for trying to solicit a prostitute. The moral of what I'm saying is you can't cut corners. Nobody can do it for you. You're trying to emulate your movie stars, your show people, because they have a packaged, commercialized personality. So you try to dress like them, and you pick up. One time, listen to this story. This is, by the way, the Stranger's stand-up, a part of my stand-up comedy act. And you try to emulate all the bullshit quirks of your hero figures, your performers, your entertainers, whatever. You try to dress like them and pick up all the quirks that they have and then try it on the women's. And all you are is a joke, a comedy act, a parody of a bad act. Because it's not integrated into your personality, it doesn't fit who you are, what you look like, your phenotype, your continence, your facial features, your behavior, your bearing, your posture, your voice print, all belies the bullshit ingratiating quirks. Now, stand-up comedy takes all these incidents of the man in pillory and pokes fun at him. It's open season. W.C. Fields, the great comedian, said, never give a sucker an even break.